everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Episode 11? 10? Oh, I forget. We've had so many of them, I just can't keep track. Welcome to the Caleb Davis Show. As always, I am your host, Caleb Davis, and with me is my main man, J-Mo.
What's up? Hello.
J-Mo, welcome back to the set.
Thanks, pal.
Welcome to the set, as they say in the biz.
In the biz, they call it that.
Yeah. I think you and I need to start wearing powder.
Kanan made a joke when I was leaving the house today. She was like, "You want some powder?"
I think we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little.
Shine.
There's a shine. Now,
Sheen.
I exfoliate.
I do not.
But I kind of stopped doing exfoliating.
Yeah.
During the cutbacks of the COVID because exfoliating is kind of expensive. The kind we were using, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
It was kind of expensive, and I was like, you know what? I could probably go without it a little bit.
We have the boys go out in the yard and pick up little pieces of gravel, and they put it in this stone thing that Indians used to use to make cornmeal. They just crush up this gravel, and we'll just take some Mama's lotion and mix those gravel chunks in there. Just scrape it on down. Sometimes it can get a little more than just like that top layer.
Sometimes you come in looking like a Freddy Krueger movie.
Yeah, a little bloody. But it's good though, because we just want to clean those pores out. Sometimes just take the pores off. It's a good way to do it.
Put that coffee mug right in the shot like that.
I don't know if you guys know about these coffee mugs. I'm going to take the liberty for just a second to go ahead and expound upon them. There's this logo here. It's really nifty. It's a C and a D in the shape of a music note. Caleb Davis's initials, music. You can go pick up this awesome swagaliciousness on the interweb, the World Wide Web.
CalebDavisMusic.com.
And you can buy merch.
You can.
And dice.
You can. And if you buy enough merchandise, I might be able to get my exfoliating cream back.
That's right.
All right. So, listen, here's what we got going on today. Justin hit me up the other day and he said, Caleb, there's something missing in my life. And I think what it is a large amount of bands that I didn't pay any attention to. And we just met, because let's be honest, there's a lot of bands out there and guys like us that have pretty much dedicated our lives to knowing music and understanding music and playing it, listening to it. There's a lot of artists that we take in, but it's like you can't just get them all, right? Yeah. And like I try to be really well versed in R&B. I try to be really, really well versed in metal and rock and hip hop and country and bluegrass and eras of rock music. But it's like you just can't get them all in.
It's hard. I mean, really, you get to a point where it's not about preference all the time. A lot of it's just about like I haven't gone there. I just haven't taken the time, because when you consume as much music as we consume, it's time consuming.
Yeah.
I mean, you got trips in the car that you try to leverage to get an album in, or try something out sometimes, or listen back through something, but really it just takes time to explore.
And unfortunately, the older you get, the more responsibilities you get, the less listening time you actually have. When we were kids, I feel like there was plenty of time to just sit and lay in the bed at night and listen. And like if I'm actually laying in the bed at night, I'm desperately in need of that sleep. At this point in life, it's like I don't want to be silent,
Yeah, that's right.
So there's nothing I can take in anyways. So yeah, here's what we're doing today. We're going to go through, and we normally do a top 5, but I think because of the theme, we're going to do a top 10.
Yeah.
And here's why. Here's why the 10, not the 5. We're going to do it the bands that we missed. So we can't really say anything about them because we don't know anything about them.
And this just isn't arbitrary bands that we don't know well. These are bands, and we'll get into it a little bit, that for whatever reason we feel like we probably shouldn't have missed, or maybe we wish we hadn't missed them. Or we've heard enough about them or heard enough of their stuff that we think, I probably would like that.
Yeah. They bring enough to the table that you go, I know I would like that.
But I just
hadn't gotten into it. So here are our top 10 bands that we should have gotten into and
didn't.
possibly one day we'll get into.
Yeah.
We just haven't. We've just missed them. So these are the bands that we feel we should like.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and get us started.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna let me say this before we get started. I think a lot of these groups that we're gonna name. I don't know about you, but there's gonna have to be a little bit of clout to the band for me to say that I should have invested time into it. For instance, there's not going to be a band that came out in 2015, that has one record that I'm going to go, I really should have, I missed them. No, this is a band that's got a full discography.
Mhm.
Like, I'm going to be looking at bands like that.
Sure,
Like,
absolutely.
they've got enough credibility that they are famous for their work.
Mhm.
And it's something that on the total I miss. So that's just a little
Yeah,
thing.
I'm with you.
Are you doing that? Okay.
I'm doing
All right.
that similar.
So-
All of mine, I think, are famous, like, well known.
Okay. So here's the thing. This is what's cool about these events for us. We don't ever discuss them. That's our
Mhm.
goal. Actually, the guy that helps us out, Adam Brennan, he told us because we're basically Neanderthals when it comes to this stuff. Adam told us. Yeah. I mean, he left his club in the garage. Adam told us, he's like, hey, listen, guys, on Joe Rogan, he makes a rule that we don't discuss what we're going to discuss ever. And I was like, well, you know what?
Not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. So we don't ever discuss. The way this works is Justin hits me up earlier in the week or later in the weekend, probably midweek actually.
Midweek, yeah.
And Justin's like, hey, here's what we're going to talk about Monday. Top 5, whatever. And he names it, and then I start doing my homework.
Yeah.
And if we get a guest in, then we get a guest in, and they start doing their homework. So,
Sure.
all right. So here's what we got. The number 10 band that I feel I should not have missed that I did miss is Jethro Tull.
There you go.
Right? I know Jethro Tull's a cool band.
Oh, I'm with you.
I know they are, but I know Aqualung and Motor Breath, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only
Locomotive Breath.
Locomotive Breath. See, I didn't
there
even
you
get
go.
that right. So I know those 2 songs, and
Right.
and I couldn't tell you one other Jethro Tull song if you stuck a revolver in my head and said, "All right, here it comes."
I feel like Jethro Tull is the perfect band to play if there was a combination of Ozfest and the Renaissance Festival. Like, yeah, they got a little, like kind of like a Peter Pan, like, but heavy.
I just remember the
Very
late
cool.
'80s when Metallica did, I believe it was Justice. They did Justice for All, and they lost the metal album of the year to Jethro Tull.
Oh wow!
And they go up on stage. They're all there, and Metallica's thinking like, dude, we actually
got it.
put out our first music video for one,
Mhm.
and like this album was huge and everything, and we got lots of publicity. And then Jethro Tull, who's so not a metal band, right? They won the award for best metal group.
Yeah.
So insulted was Jethro Tull that they didn't even show up to accept the award.
Oh man.
So
Yeah.
the next year when Metallica won for the Black Album, Lars Ulrich comes up to the stage and he starts polishing the Grammy and he says, yeah, we'd like to start out by just thanking Jethro Tull for not putting another album out this year. All right, go ahead, Jay. Number 10. I'm sorry. I said we weren't going to talk too long about these bands. Go ahead.
We're just gonna talk. My number 10 is Primus.
Yeah.
Primus is a band that I really think I would dig. I know My Name is Mud, or whatever. I mean, they're just cool. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Les Claypool. He's cool.
You know more about the Flying Frog Brigade.
Probably Flying Frog Brigade.
And the thing he did with Buckethead.
Yeah, I mean, Les Claypool just as a player is good, but the band Primus,
Yeah.
I just think they're probably awesome.
I think you're right.
And I just never got into them.
I so think you're right that they're also possibly later on my list. Yeah, so my number 9 is Rainbow. I love Richie Blackmore,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything about Rainbow. Never, I couldn't tell you one Rainbow song. Never listened to Rainbow.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably my loss.
Yeah, I think that's probably good. Yeah.
What you got?
My number, yeah. I mean,
Again, this is going to be
we
kind
got
of
a lot
like,
to talk
well,
about.
I don't know anything about them.
Rainbow
So.
also kind of has that Renaissance Festival.
They do. Richie Blackmore does. Oh, gosh.
My number 9 is Jackson Browne.
Okay.
So for me, I mean, I like the singer-songwriter stuff. I love James Taylor. Just that kind of thing. I appreciate that California era of singer-songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what was the name of that club that they all used to play? I don't know. I've heard stuff about Jackson Browne, and I know he wrote These Days, a really good song.
But you probably know that indirectly even, right?
Yeah, I know that because of Greg Allman.
Because of Greg Allman, yeah.
But, yeah, Jackson Browne. I ought to know Jackson Browne. He's probably tremendous.
No, I would agree with you. I don't know Jackson Browne. But I know Jackson Browne. And I know he was in that whole Valley scene, that
Troubadour.
late 60s.
The Troubadour.
Yeah.
Playing at that joint was what I was thinking.
All that. He ran with all those cool groups back then, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's great. My number 8 is going to probably disappoint you that I don't know anything about.
It's cool.
And listen, a lot of this is embarrassing, like, because these are people that you know you should know. Like, some of these bands, like, you know, like Rainbow, it's like, well, okay, you know, no foul if you don't know them, but I just feel like I should. This is a band that I know I should know, and it's not just a band, this is an art. Buddy Guy.
Yeah.
I don't know Buddy Guy.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Buddy Guy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. Buddy Guy is a guy that people always come up to in clubs and request. They're like, hey man, can you play me some Buddy Guy?
Do they really?
Dude, people always ask me to play Buddy Guy. And every time they do, I'm like, if I play this Albert Collins song,
you're not going to know.
You think they're going to know it's the difference between it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Buddy Guy.
Yeah, I don't know. The blues guys all kind of run together for me, but from what I've heard, don't like him as much as some of the others.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so mine, this is going to disappoint Caleb. I'll just tell you that. Mine's George Benson.
Oh, wow. That is disappointing.
I have Breezin'.
But, so I'll tell you this. I understand why you would not have gotten into Benson. Because Benson always has slided more on the side of the pop end of jazz.
Uh-huh.
And he's never been on the heavy end that you like.
Right.
Like, you don't, and just correct me if I'm wrong, but your love of jazz. Now I know you love Bill Evans.
Right.
And I know there's other guys like that, but I would say Bill's probably one of your favorites.
Bill's for you.
But I would say that your love stems more from the exploratory nature of jazz, which is like maybe the late 60s, 70s fusion jazz kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, you know, the Miles quintets and the
Monk stuff.
The Monk stuff, yeah. I know you love Mingus.
Yeah.
So all the stuff that got really like down in it with the creativity, where people almost were like, I don't know if I can really listen to this. It's not really pleasant.
Right.
To the average listener. And Benson was not that. He was not that super, you know, risk-taking creative type. He was more the pop end.
Well, like jazz guitar for me was not. So first for me was, I mean, piano players, horn players. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of the fusion bands like the Weather Reports and the Return to Forevers or Mahavishnu, just out there kind of fusion music. But with jazz guitar, I mean, I've got some Wes Montgomery stuff and Joe Pass and Pat Metheny. I like Pat Metheny.
Yeah.
But Benson, I don't.
See, that makes more sense to me. Pat Metheny's more he's more on the deep end of that thing.
Yeah.
Not that Benson. Let me clarify. Not that Benson was not a deep player.
Right.
Benson was he was a monster player. Is a monster player. He's not dead. He is a monster player.
Yeah.
But his music was not crafted around the idea of taking music to depths it had not gone to. He was selling records.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, no doubt.
I.e. Breezin'. He was selling records. I got you. All right, so mine number, what are we on? I don't even know. 7 is The Offspring.
Okay. Might be the most surprised I've been from any answer from any of our top 5 is that you would want to get into self-esteem.
Yeah, I just don't know them.
Yeah.
I'm just a loser. I know that one, of course, everybody does that, but I don't know anything else about them. Yeah. And I know that when we were growing up in middle school and stuff, God, The Offspring were huge, and everybody loved them. You know, when I was in middle school, I was listening to Wishbone Ash. I was not listening to The Offspring, so missed them.
Trying to catch up.
Yeah.
All right, I've got just a little bit more current artist. This guy Ryan Adams.
Yeah.
Heard of Ryan Adams?
Yep.
I think I would like him a lot. I've got one of his records, so I've listened to one, but I think he's put out a lot of material. And something I like that he did, as odd as it is. So Taylor Swift released an album called is it 1980 something? Is the title of the album? Maybe 1989. It's got
So glad you didn't just rattle it off like you knew it.
I mean, yeah, I think it's 1989, but it's got some of her singles on it that are popular. And this guy covered her whole album, but did it in this alt kind of rock thing. Gave her complete credit to all of it, and totally makes the songs deep cuts.
Okay.
Doesn't jack with the melody really, but doesn't mess with the words at all. Just changes the arrangement.
Okay. So I'll tell you this. Until just then, I was on a totally different page.
Yeah.
I was thinking, tell me it's not worth fighting.
Oh no, Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams. Okay.
This is Ryan Adams.
Gotcha.
So he's like, I've heard him described as a really good combination of Tom Petty and Bruce Springsteen. And I would affirm, from what I've heard, I would affirm that. That's pretty straight up.
Okay.
But he's just got, good guitar tones, but he's not really a player.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he rocks, but it's kind of more of like a songwriter kind of rock.
Sure.
Ryan Adams.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My number 7.
Cool.
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Mhm.
Number 6 for me is 311.
Oh, God, I love 311.
Yeah, see, I knew you were into 311.
Yeah.
I people ask me all the time to play Amber and stuff. And normally, if I get enough requests for somebody, I go learn it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dude, I just know this is gonna come up.
Mhm.
And I took the Jack Johnson thing.
Yeah.
Girls would come up forever requesting Jack Johnson.
Sure.
By the time I actually had to learn one for a wedding, I was like, good. I finally got a Jack. I didn't want to get into Jack Johnson. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
But I finally learned one, and
311's way cooler than
then Jack Johnson passed.
Yeah.
That scene passed, and chicks quit requesting Jack Johnson, and I was like, crap.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but 311, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're dope. It's that whole kind of metal rock, rap metal.
See, I wouldn't even know.
It's it's kind of a rappy thing.
I know that one song is nasty.
So think about. Oh yeah. So think about. So this will be a good one. So think about. What was the guy who died? There was a rap rock group. The guy died. He screamed. He was like a screamer and like a rapper.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park. So think about Linkin Park earlier with kind of a reggae feel. It's 311.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Maybe I wouldn't like them. I don't know.
Yeah, that is part of this.
Yeah.
There's not a guarantee. We might follow up with you, or follow up with us. Ask us, hey, how did it go? If you like any of these bands that we're talking about, and you just happen to really be into Ryan Adams, find a way to reach out and tell me what album.
Tell us what we need to listen to.
Yeah,
If they're don't give us just listen to the whole thing. Oh, we got that. Listen to the whole thing. Should give us if I were to tell you to go listen to Led Zeppelin, I would say, go listen to Since I've Been Loving You and be done. Because I feel like that's the best.
Sure.
That not necessarily the best song, but that's the song that best exemplifies each person in that band.
There you go.
John Paul Jones is killing the bass and the organ.
Oh yeah.
Bonham's got the squeaky thing going on. Page is killing it, and Plant absolutely sings his butt. That's an easy thing.
Yeah, that is
you want to
good.
hear Zeppelin? Go listen to Since I've Been Loving You. So give us one of those for these bands we're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
That's great. All right, my number 6 is Wilco, a band called Wilco.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I kind of had heard of them from the jam band type of stuff, or festivals. You see their name alongside bands that you like. I see Wilco a lot, and I think that they maybe are kind of jammy, maybe kind of alternative-y. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that I think I would like them. Yeah.
Shoot us in the descriptions below. Are they jam? Is Wilco jam band?
Are they a jam band? Are they an alternative band?
Let
Wilco.
us know what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, you ready? What are we, 5?
We're at 5, so we'll start maybe slowing down a little bit, digging in a little bit.
And it's going to be harder for me to slow down because these top ones are ones I know I should have.
Yeah.
These other ones are ones I don't know that I'd like. I don't know if I'd like Buddy Guy or The Offspring or 311.
Oh, sure.
Or Rainbow or Jethro Tull. But these I feel like I'm supposed to like.
Right.
All right? Number 5 is Dream Theater.
Mm.
And dude, listen,
I just can't.
I'll tell you, man. There's a part of me I'm just like, dude. I know because I'm a player and I'm supposed to like Dream Theater, and because we all went to the same school and everything. But it's
What's
like,
the guy's name?
which one?
The Portnoy, right?
That's the drummer.
Drummer, and then there's the guitar
Petrucci.
player. I can't ever say his name.
Petrucci.
Petrucci. I think I always want to say like Patitucci or something.
That's the bass player.
For the Dream Theater?
No, for Chick Corea.
Oh, okay.
Chick Corea's electric was it?
Patitucci.
John Patitucci. No, he's a freaking monster.
There's
That-
a group that should be on here. I don't
There's
know
a
anybody.
there's a squirrel moment.
Yeah.
John, we can just stop talking about this and talk about the Chick Corea Electric Orchestra.
Was Keith Jarrett in that?
No.
He
Chick
played
Corea was in that.
No. No. Okay, I got it. Miles Davis had a thing that Keith Jarrett.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
No, Chick Corea was in that.
Chick Corea was in the Chick Corea Electric Orchestra. Jeez. Oh man. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
one of the finest bands ever assembled on the planet Earth.
Who played drums in that?
Yeah.
Money White?
No.
Tony?
No. Weckel. Sorry, I was like,
Yeah.
his name. I kept wanting to say Dave Sanborn. Dave Weckel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get into that. That should be on my list.
Oh, so Patitucci on bass, Weckel on drums, Chick on the keys, and then you got what's his name, Gumbali on guitar.
Really?
Yeah, the Sweet Master.
Mm.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, but for Dream Theater,
Yeah.
that's a band. And listen, if you're a Dream Theater fan, I'm not knocking Dream Theater. I don't know Dream Theater, but I've heard a couple things by Dream Theater, and it's just not.
Yeah.
I just missed them, you
Yeah.
know. And it's not like I don't get it.
Sure.
It's like I don't think I like it, you know.
Right. Yeah.
It's just it seems like it's a little sterile. That might be. a
Oh,
good
I
word.
think, yeah, I don't know that I could get into Dream Theater.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
Yeah.
just not my
And see, it's not like it's the well, like I said, it's not the level of musicianship,
Oh,
and it's
no,
not
no.
the level of composition because.
But see, I can't get into like Satriani and stuff either. I know you like some of that stuff. No.
I mean, I don't listen to any of it.
Yeah.
I really don't, and it's not that I dislike it.
Of
but-
all of them, you like Vi the most, probably.
Well, he's a different animal. I don't feel like he fits in the category. I know that people lump him in those categories,
Yeah.
but he's just not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, if you need to know anything about Vi, you just know he started playing with Frank,
That is true.
and like that says all you need to hear about
That sets
Vi.
him apart.
Yeah, he's different, just
Yeah.
a different animal. Vi's not concerned with. Well, that's another story. Go ahead.
Yeah. My number 5 is Tool.
Okay, good one.
Tool. I know I would like Tool.
Yeah.
I just got to do it. I feel like it's heavy, it's dark, but it's weird. Like, I don't think that they're in a box. I don't think, from what I know, I have one Tool album that I've not really given a ton of time to, but I've got a CD, a Tool CD, and I've listened to it some, and it's enough to know that it's not like heavy, but it's heavy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's just, I think that they're weird enough to intrigue me.
Yeah, I think that's good. Weird enough, they are.
Mm.
I think. Yeah, my number 4 is, and this will shock you, especially considering my era that I love.
Mhm.
But my number 4 is King Crimson. I don't know King Crimson, brother.
Yeah.
And if Nathan's watching this, which I think Nathan watches
Oh,
these,
man.
Nathan, don't throw something at me. I know you know where I live. I'll try, man.
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't think I'm gonna have to try with King Crimson. I think I'll love King
Oh.
Crimson. They're just another band that kind of just I slid by on my way
Mhm.
to the Monkees or the Doors or somebody. I don't know.
And let me just say, I'm just going to interrupt him. Maybe he was done. We don't talk about this. My number 4 is King Crimson.
No kidding.
And I was going to say, Nathan, if you're watching, I know that you would be disappointed in me. Forgive us.
Yeah.
King Crimson. I've got Lark's Tongue and Aspic because, Nathan, I was at your house and you put that thing on after I recorded something, I don't remember, and we listened to like half of Lark's Tongue and Aspic. It was awesome. And you also did the Elephant Talk. Anyway, there's just so much King Crimson that I know is good, but I have not given
Yeah.
it the time of day.
Yeah.
They might be higher than 4, really, if I'm ranking them.
I think they might need to be up there pretty. The
I mean-
fact that they're both right there for us,
Oh,
they were both
man.
our number 4s.
Number 4.
That's freaky.
That is freaky.
That's freaky. King Crimson. All right. Yeah. All right. This number 3 is a disappointment, not to you. This is a disappointment to me. Keith Jarrett.
Oh,
I own 0 Keith Jarrett records, and all my Berkeley pals can start bashing me, and that's all good. Like, I know that Keith Jarrett is probably one of the most gifted piano players of all time. Like, I just don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some stuff about him, stuff that you probably don't want to know about him.
like just reputation and all that kind of
a
stuff.
reputation for being quite a jerk.
I think he was kind of a jerk.
But Keith Jarrett, number 3. I don't really have anything.
The Cologne concert's the one you should get.
Is that the solo one?
That's the solo one that was
I've seen clips of that.
entirely improvised. A lot of his stuff's entirely improvised, but he just goes out there
I
and
saw that
starts.
left hand lay down that pattern.
It just starts going, man.
But like his discography, I know. Now I will say this: when I say Keith Jarrett, I'm meaning strictly Keith Jarrett's solo records.
Right.
Let me rephrase that, because I know Keith Jarrett with Miles. I know Keith Jarrett with other people. I don't know Keith as his own.
But he had his own thing. He carved out a space as a solo piano player because of the stuff we're talking about. This left hand technique, this movement that really filled out the sound. That he could. I mean, just to be frank, he could pull off a long solo piano concert in an engaging way. Where I don't know that a ton of dudes can do that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But he filled up the space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
really good for your number 3. So my number 3 is Rush.
Fair enough. Jeez, man, I should have put Rush on mine too. Good call.
My number 3 is Rush. I know Tom Sawyer.
Working Man.
I don't even know that.
That's a tough song.
I know Geddy's voice. I know his bass playing. I watched like a behind the music on him, and I was like, I'm gonna get into him. I bought 2112, the CD. Today, I was at Walmart and I bought Moving Pictures with Tom Sawyer on it. So I now have 2 really famous Rush albums. I've never listened to them though.
Of all the bands we've named, they're probably the coolest band.
Rush is cool.
In the sense of they are so not cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like they are such a dorky band, but I think that's they own that and they love it, and the people love it. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like people attach themselves to Rush.
Anytime there's a band that's got like a fanatical following,
Of
you
guys.
or you could call them like heads, like Rush heads, dead heads. You know, like these are just
Parrot
people-
heads.
Yeah, parrot heads. Cheeseburger in Paradise is a joke. But Jimmy Buffett can write some songs.
Well, I'm sure we have some viewers that would disagree about the Cheeseburger in Paradise being a joke. Perhaps you dislike that song.
I think it's a joke. I think Jimmy Buffett would say it was a joke. I was gonna write a song about cheeseburgers, see if I can make millions at work.
No,
Joke's
score.
on y'all.
Score.
Anyway,
All right.
number 2.
Yeah, number 2, you've already named.
Okay.
Yep. And the reason they're so high for me is because I know that I would like them, and I've never gotten into them. It's Primus. I know I'd like Primus. It's just a matter of time before I get into Primus.
Oh yeah.
That's another Nathan Freeman band. Nathan, I'm sorry, pal.
Straight up. That
We
is a
need,
Nathan
you know
band.
what we got to do? We got to sit down and have a Nathan Freeman thing.
A Nathan Freeman night. Maybe even like part 1 and part 2. Just
It's probably
a
going to
character study on Nathan Freeman.
That's going to happen.
Straight
This guy, he's about, I don't know, man. What is Nathan? 20 years older than us?
Probably.
Nathan took us in when we were kids, right? Like, he had a studio, and he took us in and, like, charged us basically nothing to come in. I mean, I think we paid him, like, $15 an hour or something like that, and it was, like, stuff we could afford. And we recorded some, and we put him to work as an engineer. Like, we were like, Nathan, we want to record this, but we want this to fade out, but we're gonna record this, and we want it to fade in as
and
that's
then go
fading
backwards,
and then we want it to be reversed
and spin it
like,
twice, and then we're gonna go out to the denouement, and it's gonna be this guitar solo epic. We want you to make it huge, but then at the same time, down to nothing.
That's right.
And he would be like, "All right."
I think I got all that. And he's over there like with a towel, editing. Yeah, that we would
Y'all
put.
are stupid.
We put that. Y'all are stupid. Y'all doing drugs. Yeah. Nathan, but Nathan, you know what Nathan introduced me to? We're gonna talk about this again. I'm gonna repeat these stories.
I know.
Nathan,
I know.
he introduced me to the freaking P-Funk,
That's
dude.
when I was
Son.
there. We were in there at the same time. Make my funk the P-Funk. We were like, what is
A good
this?
evening. That's what it is. He said, "Y'all just shut up while I'm mixing this down." He was waiting on the thing to do a final mix down. It was gonna take like 45 minutes or what. And he's like, "Y'all just shut up for a little bit." And he puts on George Clinton in the Parliament Funkadelic, and he says, "Doom, doom, good evening. I do not attempt to adjust your radio. There is nothing wrong. We will return it to you as soon as you are groovy. Welcome to station WEFUNK, better known as We Funk, or deeper still, the Mothership Connection, home of the extraterrestrial brothers, dealers in funky music, uncut funk, P-Funk, the bomb." And that mess came on, and I remember going, we just sat there and went,
What?
"What is that?"
It's awesome is what it is. And it's because Nathan's awesome.
It is, and I mean, all these bands that we're naming are
Nathan
Nathan
likes.
Freeman bands. Primus, King Crimson. I mean,
Probably something else. He probably likes
he probably knows all about
Jethro Tull.
Jethro Tull and Rainbow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
My number two.
Number two.
Sonic Youth.
All right. Yeah. They were a heavy hitter. Yeah.
Yeah, Sonic Youth is a band I would like. I'm actually going to attribute my desire to get to know them better to former students of mine, the Swindler Boys.
Oh yeah.
Mason and Harry Swindler. They're probably too cool to watch this.
They are too cool to watch this.
Whatever, dudes. These are also boys who once told me that the Beatles were awful. So, but they loved Sonic Youth, and I taught them some of their music. I would like look it up and listen to it just to learn it. And every now and then there'll be a student that they bring something to you, and you're like, this is really cool. And Sonic Youth, everything that I taught them, I was like, this is a cool song.
Mm-hmm. There is a thing that goes on with kids. It doesn't happen with adults as much because kids have something to prove.
Yeah.
But there's a thing that happens with kids where they go, the conventional answer I will not give you. You know, like, the Beatles suck. You know, the Beatles are not a good band. I don't care what anybody says, the Beatles are not a good band. So I had this conversation with these two young men that he's talking about. They were brothers, and they were great players.
Oh, yeah.
Or, they are great players, sorry. I always talking past tense for some reason.
It's okay. They're not here anymore in terms of...
But they're good players. And what's funny is they got me into something in that arrogance of theirs where it's like, you know, so they were telling me, they're like, dude, the Beatles are not the best band ever. And I went, oh, okay, cool, fair enough. I'm thinking they're going to sell Led Zeppelin or something.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, the Beatles weren't even the best band of the 60s. And I went, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on,
It's
boys.
a large statement there,
Hold on,
fellas.
boys. Who was the best band in the 60s? They were like, Velvet Underground. And I went, okay. Well, I can't say anything to this because I don't know the Velvet Underground.
Right.
So that day I had a gig like 45 minutes from here, down North 77.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. I grabbed the Velvet Underground and Nico, and I put that junk on, and I went, all right, so they're not better than the Beatles by any stretch, but they are awesome.
Right.
And I was like, these boys, and I did next week. I came in and I was like, boys, y'all have lost your minds, but the Velvet Underground is awesome.
Velvet Underground should be on my list. I don't know them, and I know they're cool.
Oh yeah, they're way cool, way cool.
Mm-hmm.
That whole setup was cool. All right, where are we at?
Number one.
All right, my number one you've already named, Tool.
Tool.
We had this is amazing how many similar ones we
things.
had. Tool's my number one. I know Schism.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
Schizophrenia or schism or
I don't know.
I know the pieces fit. Like that song.
Yeah.
Man, that's a killer freaking song.
They're
but I know
good,
that
man.
song, and I know that that's such a weird like juxtaposed, you know, like the melody fitting in a weird way over the top of this weird timed out song.
Yeah, the drums are weird in these
Mm-hmm.
Tool songs.
And I think if they can do that, then they're going to be a band I would like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you know, Tool.
Tool.
Plus, Maynard. Oddly enough, my intro to Maynard had nothing to do with Tool. It was Rage Against the Machine.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know if you know this or not. That wasn't Zach on the On the first record when he goes, I got no patience now.
Really?
So sick of complacence now. Sick of. You remember that?
Yeah.
The time has come to ride. That was Maynard. Yeah. I think Tool was recording a record.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's the way this always used to happen.
Sure.
Like he's in the studio next door, like, man, let's get over here and sing this song for us real quick. Just put this little guest thing on.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened with Have a Cigar with Pink Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
Like Roy Harper was like in the next room, and Roger and David couldn't figure out how to sing the song, and he's like, let me do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so my number one is Tool, and
I think Tool's, I can't wait for us to get into Tool. They're going to be cool.
maybe we should force something like,
If we're not a fool about it.
maybe we should be like, I don't know, let's cover a Tool album like next month,
Yeah.
and like make us have to take
Have to learn it.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't-
Yeah,
As soon as I said that, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't request some Tool album cover, please.
No, you won't get it.
Tool bag.
Tool. All right, who's your number one?
My number one is Queens of Stone Age.
Oh, you would love Queens
I
of
know.
Stone Age. Yes.
I know I would love Queens
I
of
like
Stone
Queens
Age.
of Stone
I know
Age.
you do. That has been my number one band to get into for so long. Like so long that this is something I've got to remedy.
Okay.
I've got to fix this.
So
It's been too long.
there's a couple bands on mine that you're into,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one band on yours that I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna request a Mosquito song for you.
Mosquito song.
Listen to that, the Mosquito
The
song.
Mosquito song.
Yep.
I mean, I know some of the album songs for the deaf.
Yes, that's stop there.
Yeah. I mean, so I know of Queens of Stone Age.
Mhm.
I just haven't done it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Just need to do
killer.
it. Yeah.
They're killer. All right, well that's good. There's our top 10. So we've got a couple, I'm sure,
Mhm.
couple bonuses. that-
Honorable mentions.
Yeah. For me, definitely, what's their names that we talked about the other week? The Trio. They're dope. I mean, they're a dope band.
Oh.
Knights of Sidonia. Muse.
Muse.
Muse is a band I don't know much of. I know some of the popular
Right,
songs,
right.
but I don't know much about Muse. Tame Impala is a newer band that I know, like,
I know them pretty well.
I know one or two of their songs.
Tame
and
Impala's dope.
I've heard, Elephant and
Yeah.
and Tame Impala also did the
Yeah.
That's a cool song, man.
Man, they're awesome.
It only goes backwards or
I can't remember the name.
yeah, I don't remember it either. It's
But
cool.
Tame Impala's a band that I hadn't like dug into as far as like being able to know them by name. That's a band for me that I'll just put it on and let it spin.
Yeah.
And just love it.
Hiatus Coyote is another one, but I don't know if they've got a. Are they?
Oh,
they have a
boy.
discography big enough?
2 albums.
Yeah, so they may not be.
No, listen to me. And you people, listen to me. Hiatus Coyote is the dopest thing I've stumbled upon in the last 10 years.
Woo! More than the Black Messiah.
Yeah, oh gosh.
Really?
I'm just telling you my opinion. Shuts D'Angelo down.
Oh, snap!
Napalm, this girl singing is dope. Yeah, I'm just telling you. Hiatus Coyote is where it's at.
So they were one, and Childish Gambino is another one that I just.
Oh, Childish Gambino, I have one of his albums. It's good.
That's kind of, and those are 3 newer bands. Muse is not a newer band.
Right.
Those are definitely 3 newer bands, and to an extent, now I will say this: that this band has so many hits. This is going to be one that maybe you go, huh, that doesn't really count. I didn't really see that coming.
Yeah.
This band has so many hits that it's hard to say I don't know them.
Yeah.
Because I do know very well, like 60 songs of theirs. But their discography is so big
Yeah.
that I realize there's a ton that just album cut wise I just don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the Rolling Stones. Right? See, that's exactly what I did. It was like, I would say I'm a Stones fan.
Yeah.
And I would say I know a ton of Stones music. But it's
Yeah.
because they're all so famous.
Yeah.
But there's so much material there, especially if you get back into like her Satanic Majesty and like
Yeah.
Flowers and like some of those older records. I mean, I think every Exile and all those like
Exile and
Let It
Sticky
Bleed,
Fingers, Let It
Sticky
Bleed.
Fingers. Everybody knows those, but there's so many albums in between
Goat's
those.
Head Soup is a really good one. You should check out,
See?
man. Goat's
And
Head
I don't
Soup
know
is
any
really
of their
good.
80s stuff.
80 stuff, I don't know. I topped out. I think Goat's Head Soup is the late. That's got Angie on it.
Yeah.
And that's probably the latest Stones album I dig. But
Yeah, so it's not, I mean, that's a weird one. Go ahead, who are yours?
so I've got just the jazz piano thing. There's this guy, Leonardo Genovese is his name. He's a piano player for Esperanza Spalding. He's awesome. I have downloaded one of his albums and have like halfway listened to it once, and it's out. It's almost so out that I'm gonna need a second with it. But I think he is the jump, man.
All right.
So Leo Genovese, Moonchild.
Okay.
Moonchild is kind of in that same vein as Hiatus Cody.
Yep.
Real dope kind of keys, drums driven thing with a female singer, real straight tone jazz singer. She's really, really good. I would say the other one that I've got for like an honorable mention is Johnny Jenkins. This is other way completely. Dwayne Allman played on Johnny Jenkins stuff. Just kind of an older blues, rock, R&B kind of swampy guy. But the Dwayne Allman anthology has him playing on a Johnny Jenkins song that's really cool. And Davey Road, who we've had on, once I was at Davey Road's shop, and he threw on a Johnny Jenkins out CD and was like, "You would like this." And what I remember while it was playing, like, "Dang, this is really good."
Yeah.
So Johnny Jenkins for me is one that I would like.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. So
Good.
if you guys know these bands that we listed, and I know some of you do, I'm thinking right off the top of my head, Aaron Bumgarner.
What's he into?
Tool. He's his favorite
Oh,
band
really?
of all time, and he always was like,
Hit us
"Caleb,"
up.
he was like, "Why the crap don't you know Tool, Caleb?"
Sean Moore loves Rush.
Oh yeah.
Like absolute Rush head.
Yep.
Could definitely get us off on the right foot with
Yep.
Rush.
There's a lot of big bands, and remember, there's a lot of big bands that we're not into, that we don't want to be into.
This is true.
We
want to be into these.
These are bands that we think we would like.
It might not work, but we think that they will.
Like Kiss will never be on my
I don't
list.
really care to know Kiss.
I don't want to know anything about them.
Yeah.
I know enough to know that's not
It's like Dream Theater, but without the virtuosity.
No, I think Dream Theater is cool. I think, well, whatever. So, in honor of Jay, would you like to?
Yeah.
I'd say in honor of this,
In the spirit.
of this outing, we usually take you out with a song. I think
We do normally.
let's take them out with that. Do you remember that one song? The hang on. No, the other one. The
It starts on the C flat.
go go back to.
On the right there. There it is. That's it. Right there. Yeah. Yeah.
No, hold on. That's
Okay, that was wrong.
That was on the. That's the second.
Hold on.
one.
Let me get my pick. My
You get-
plectrum.
I don't. Yeah.
You
Well, I
need
don't.
to
I like to stick strictly fingers. But
use the D shape.
do you remember it's the D
The
shape?
D shape. Down there at the bottom. At the bottom.
Oh, wait.
The bottom. Not
The
that
bottom?
bottom. That's the top. E string. E string. E string.
E.
E string. That's E chord. The E string.
Wait a minute. Are we on line too?
Oh no. You just need to press down harder. There it is.
So the.
This D shape.
I think we're getting it. Hang on. That's it.
But it's gonna be all on the 3 and 1, 2. Yeah, right there. We're in the pocket now. I feel it. Hey, buy me a rocking chair coat and I get them pickles in a jar. Gonna buy me a rocking chair coat and I can't sing so far, but I know you love me, yes you do. Sing my song and I sing the blues, 'cause you love me, purple blue shoe. And I'm young and that's the truth. I'm gonna buy me biscuits and mustard, gravy, and I must be hungry. That's the one. Great job, folks. You did good sitting through it.
Hey y'all, thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. See you next time.